Hello daisies. I wanted to share a little tip with you about how to create a little mini book for your journaling. So this month I got an extra kit with this A6 planner, and I'm going to use it as a journal. And so I took a few classes over the last week in the evenings because I've been sick and haven't really been able to do much. And so I watched many mixed media artists and some of the things that they've done, and so I decided I'm going to try a couple things in my Cocoa Daisy A6 planner. Now, what I decided I wanted to do was shore up the binding. It's not like my TN where it's going to get really fat because it's a journal, but I just wanted to be sure that it wouldn't fall apart, because journaling is very special to me and it means a lot to me, and I know that I'll have some pictures and other things in here. So I want to make sure it stays together for a long time. So I've already, to save time, punched the holes in. So I took the staples out and I punched holes all the way through the cover that I created, and then I added a couple of extra holes here. I got this floss, this DMC floss. Now, there's a lot of articles that talk about excuse me, using waxed thread. I don't have any of that, so I just figured that I would make my floss very thick to make sure that it doesn't break. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this 3 strands instead of 2 strands, which is what you would usually do for cross stitching. I'm sorry, I'm going to make it 4 strands instead of 2 strands, which is what you would usually do for cross stitching. So I'm going to take this apart over here like this. This is always the fun part for me, separating the threads. And once I'm done doing that, I'm going to actually sew the back of the spine with this thread. And then I'm going to cover the front. So I've already done some work. Excuse me, those classes that I took with mixed media, I decided to do a little colorful texture paste, and I just so happened to have a stencil that matches the stamp that comes in the kit. And I decided to make some cranes and watercolor them in with the same crayon. This is a Tim Holtz crayon color. And so I made a few cranes to go on the front as well. And then I stamped everything in this brown StazOn to make sure nothing would run and that I could watercolor over things. So let me take a break here real quick and sew things on, and then I'll show you how I finish things up for the cover in this little book I'm creating as a journal this month. Okay, friends, I'm back. As you can see, I finished sewing the binding. So I started here, and I sewed it down to here, came over this side, went down, came through here, went down this large loop here, came down, came back around, and came all the way back up, so that I made a seam, one line seam on both sides, and I tied it here on the inside. Now, many of the videos I watched, they tie it on the outside, but I decided to tie it on the inside because I'll either use it as part of the decoration, or potentially I will be covering it with washi tape. It just depends on what I journal on this page. Okay, so now to finish my decorating. So I have some glue here, and a lot of times I like to use the kind of stickers that make things pop up, but because I'm going to be writing in this, that's probably not a good idea. So you want your front to be as flat as possible, and that's what I did here. And so then I made a few of these cranes, and I watercolored them, and I followed the Vicky Bouton golden rules, and I didn't paint them, I dabbed them after I made the watercolor with this crayon and some water. This is a Tim Holtz Distress Crayon, and it is called Festive Berries. And I diluted it enough, excuse me, to make it just a little bit paler than what the pinks are on this cover page. And at the same time, it matches the more vibrant color from here that I dyed my texture paste with before I put it on here. So now I'm just going to put a little glue on here so that I could put this on my page where I want it. And I am not going to be real crazy about having it stick down, but I wanted to put one right around here. So I was looking at this prior to making the video. I want to put one there. And then this little guy is going to go down on the bottom corner. So he's gonna, if I could get the glue out. So I've lost all my strength since I got sick. It's crazy. All right, so I put some glue on him, and I want him to go, or her, to go right here, just like this, kind of over the texture paste as well. And then for my final one, my final little pink crane, and believe me, there are so many cranes in the kit. It's not that I needed to make these, but I just wanted to do something a little different. I wanted to test myself, and I wanted to use the stamps. So that's why I did this. Okay, and so then a little earlier I had thought I want this crane to come over right here. I don't want it to cover up too much of these cherry blossoms on my paper. Okay, so I'm going to put that there. And then I did a couple more little blossoms. I thought I'd like to have them kind of sitting here. I had them in a little a three pack, which, you know, usually you do things in threes, but I liked it better with just the two. So I cut one of them off after I made them. And again, if I can just find the strength to get the glue out, I'll be in good shape. All right. And so I decided I wanted to put this right here. And as you all know, if you've watched any of my previous videos, I use undo all the time. So I'm never afraid of getting too much glue somewhere. I can always fix it. And I've learned how to be a pro at fixing it, actually. So this is how my front cover will look. Now, once this dries, I might try to glue down more of the crane, or I may not. It just depends on how well they sit flat once they're done, once this is done drying. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed my little tutorial, and I will be showing you my journal over the next month or so. And I will probably be doing another video where I show you how I set it up on the inside. So again, I use this distressed crayon mixed with water on some acetate, using a paintbrush, a watercolor brush, and I watercolored these, and I just tapped. I did not brush. I used this stamp from the memory keeping kits. I used this texture paste right here. And again, I mixed it with this after I made it into watercolor. So to get this color, I stamped all of my items with the StazOn brown. This is timber brown, and it goes really nicely with this paper because, believe it or not, this is brown as well here. And then, you know, I used my little piercer, some DMC really white floss, and I took out my staples with these little tweezers from EK Tools. So here's my staples. And then I punched some holes and sewed. So thank you for watching my video, and I hope it was helpful and I taught you something. Thank you.